Melody and I have arrived at Pacific City Thousand Trails on the Oregon coast. Let's go check it out. Melody and I spent a week here at Pacific City Thousand Trails. Let me show you around. That's the entry to Pacific City Thousand Trails. As soon as you pull in, you're going to see this sign. It tells you to pull forward. They have several places marked. You see that black fifth wheel pulled off the left there. You just pull up there, park, and then off to the right, you'll find the Welcome Center. Melody and I checked in, and we were at our site in approximately 5 minutes. Smooth check-in. Here's a closer look at the Welcome Center. Our first stop is Loop A. Check-in, they'll give you a gate code. You just punch it in off to the left here, go right through the gate. If you're pulling a toad, they do have a tow car connect-disconnect area, several of them as you enter the campground. I'll be walking Loop A backwards. It's just the direction that I'm going in. So if 30 amp will suffice for you, you'll find some sites down here in the A loop where you can get your rig level. You can get a large rig in here on many of these sites. A22 has a brand new electric box. It's a 30 amp site. Water should be to the rear of that. Yeah, you have a water faucet clear back to the rear by your, well, here you got a water faucet right on the back of the electric box. But this site is a nice site. You get a fairly large rig in here and get your rig level. A21, also a nice site, and get a fairly large rig in there. 30 amp hookup. Another large site in A loop where you can get your rig level. These are all going to be 30 amp with water. No sewer. Site A19. So we're entering B loop, and there's a few things I want to tell you about both cellular service and television service. The cellular service pretty much sucks throughout the campground. I don't care whether you're on the bottom in Loop A, along Loop B here, in the middle, or on the top. Cell service is spotty, and when you do have it, it's barely usable for basic tasks. And Melody and I have all three carriers: Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. The other thing I want to tell you about this campground is you will have no over-the-air television service. We don't do satellite, but over-the-air we got zip. Right after you leave the A loop, you'll run into these campsites which parallel the road that separates this campground from the ocean. So let's continue around. I'm not going to show you any sites here in the B campsites because they're all wonky. Very few where you can get your rig level. So we're going to go up toward the C loop where I'm camped. So shortly after you enter the C loop, you'll find the beach trail. This is the beach access for the campground. Let's go down. I'll show you that crossing. So you'll find this short little trail. That will take you across the road and over to the Pacific. And the crosswalk is clearly marked for safety. So that's the restroom facility and shower house. They're very clean. The showers are very nice. We've taken a couple showers in there. We do not have sewer hookups. Been here a week, getting ready to go to our next campground here in Oregon. We're in site C31. We're very pleased with our site. I have a 50 amp hookup. And we have a water connection, no sewer. This is our setup. Got a nice little private area back here. The entire time we've been here, we've heard the roar of the ocean, the waves, the entire time. You just sit out here, you may be able to, if you listen closely, hear them. The traffic on this road is almost nil at night, so that's not a problem. But this is our campsite. It's a nice little private nook. A lot of the campsites here are like this. Let me take you, work our way up the hill, and I'll give you some additional points on where to look for a great campsite once you arrive at Pacific City Thousand Trails. So this would be a good opportunity to comment, since this guy has a humongous toy hauler, and he has obviously selected C-Loop, and there's a reason for that. As soon as you leave C-Loop, you're going to go bear to the left and go up toward the family center. There is a sharp turn where you can see where people drag. So I suspect that's why he doesn't want to go up there, and that's why I didn't go up there. Let me show you that sharp turn. And my intent is just to give you a general orientation of this campground so you're not completely blind when you pull in. But D-Loop is off to the right. If you went right, you'd go down into the D-Loop. There are solar and water sites down there. They're 50 amp. Some of them are 50 amp. They were all taken. So we drove down through there, couldn't find any, and we came back up to where we are now. So let's go up and take a look at that sharp turn. So this is the sharp turn. I think I would be okay if I cut it really wide, and the same coming down the hill. There's the mirror. But you can see where people drag, and they did warn me when I came in. There's a look at that sharp turn. I think my fifth wheel would have made it up here, but I opted not to even try. So when you get to the top of the hill, the family center is a place you're going to want to go. You'll be able to get free Wi-Fi up there, and the Wi-Fi is somewhat decent. You can do all your basic tasks. Okay, the first campsite is going to be G22, and the second campsite I want to point out to you is site G24. They're both available for guests, and as you can see, you're going to have a wonderful view of the Pacific Ocean from those campsites. Well, Melody and I are walking up to the upper lodge here at Pacific City Thousand Trails. We're in the G-Loop. That's your view from the G-Loop. Yep, that's my Dodge Ram parked right next to the Cougar. Right down in there. There's my Dodge Ram, right in the middle of your screen. So, Pacific Shore looks nice today. We're on our way up to the lodge. So, and it's a nice lodge. We're going up to use the Wi-Fi because during the day, cellular service on all three of our carriers is a no-go. If you continue down the road, you're going to see this sign, stop, no camping RV sites beyond this point. The lodge is up this way. I'm going to take you up there and then back down the other way here. This is an exit only. This is a continuation of G-Loop. There are a couple campsites that are really nice. I'm going to show you down in there. Flat and big rig friendly. Back here toward the family center, you have a playground, a mini golf, and it looks like maybe a tennis court. Here are the hours for the pool. And they have a wonderful indoor pool. It has been well used since we've been here. And on the back side of the pool, they also have a hot tub. Adjacent to the pool and hot tub, you'll find the laundry. It's right next to the main lodge. Down there at the end on the right is a laundry room. Melody has done a video for you, so I'm going to cut to that video now.
Hi, I'm at the laundry room today at Pacific City RV Campground in Cloverdale, Oregon. They have 5 washers. Unfortunately, 2 of them are out of order right now, and It looks like they're $1.50 to wash. They take the CSC card along with credit card and quarters. And over here we have 6 dryers, and it looks like they are $2 to dry. And they have a little folding table over here. Say hi. Hi. Okay. So there you go, guys. Enjoy.
This is the view of the Pacific right outside of the main lodge. It has a huge seating area, big screen TV, whatnot in here. It's usually busy, and as I can see, there are a lot of people in there off to the left. We were up here on a clear day. I think I did take a few photos for you of the inside of the lodge. So I'm going to cut to what this looks like on a clear day. Right across from the playground is Ramblers Overlook Trail. Ramblers Overlook Trail brings you to a bench that's perched up on top of the bluff. And this is your view. Oh, there's that big rock, hon. That big rock out in the Pacific there that we saw from the state park? Yeah. So yeah, you got a nice little bench there. Back. We're just gonna sit here and take it in for a few minutes. I'm in G-Loop right now, but before I take you to those campsites I wanted to show you, I want to tell you where you can get a fantastic fish sandwich down in Pacific City near the town center. Sportsman's Pub and Grub. They have a fresh catch fish sandwich. It's fried and just wonderful taste. It's a bar type atmosphere. I had an ale with it. They also have clam chowder, and Melody and I both had a bowl of that. That was a real treat. We did that the first day we were here. Let me take you and show you those campsites. Well, off to my left, this is campsite G5. I believe it's going to be a 30 amp site. You can get a fairly large rig in there, and you can get your rig level. Just a short walk away from the main lodge. You have that overlook that you can walk to from up here fairly easily. That's a 30 amp water site, no soar. Again, that's site G5. And right next door, site G4 also made my best campsites list for Pacific City Thousand Trails. So I caught up with Melody and Milo back at the campsite. And I have to ask you, hon, what was your favorite thing we did here at Pacific City Thousand Trails?
I would have to say our day trip to Cape Lookout State Park.
I have to agree. Cape Lookout State Park. We did a day trip there. What a fantastic hike and beach access they have there. We also had a picnic. I'm going to show you some photos and some video clips from that day trip. Melody, Milo, and I are at Cape Lookout State Park in Oregon. This trail we're on is a couple-mile trail. goes out on this finger that jets out into the Pacific. You can see the ocean's down there. The beach kind of circles back that way. Because of the lighting, you probably can't make it out. But we're heading out this trail this morning, and it's going to give us some panoramic views of the Pacific Ocean and the coastline as we make our way out. And there'll be a lookout when we reach the end. Let's get to it. Tell me this isn't cool or what? Cape Lookout State Park. This is the Cape Trail. What a gorgeous coastline. And we're way up. We are way up in the air. That's the Pacific down there. This ought to be a gorgeous hike. Let's continue on out this trail. Here's a fantastic view. Melody and I are staying at the Pacific City Thousand Trails, and it's off in the direction that you're looking right now. You see that big rock? You can make it out. There's a big rock that sits out in the Pacific, and that rock isn't far from where our campground is. But wow, I'm really glad we decided to do this hike. Let me catch back up with Melody. She's right up the trail there. We're having a ball on our 2021-2022 snowbird trip. This hike I'd recommend, but you need to be prepared for a little technical maneuvering. I'm not going all the way out. I don't want to leave Melody too long. She's waiting for me where the tree fell. We spent over a month in Washington State. This is our first stop on our trip through Oregon. We have a total of 4 different campgrounds we're going to. We're going to wrap Oregon up with Crater Lake National Park. Long time bucket list destination for Melody and I. I'll see you a little bit further on down the road.
Go get Daddy, Milo. Go get Daddy. Come here, Milo. Okay, go get Daddy. Go get Daddy, Milo. Go get Daddy.
Here's another vantage point of Cape Lookout State Park. Down below there's the beach we were just on. Isn't that beautiful? I think I'm going to leave it here. I'll have the upload and download speeds for Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile in the written video description on YouTube. If y'all like these videos, like and subscribe, and I'll see you down the road.